Hi everyone, it's datboi. Welcome back to my channel. And there's been some things on my mind that I'd like to just talk about a little to share with you guys. And it's related to two things. And the first thing being a person, and that is a Japanese-born singer-songwriter, folk slash ambient musician, music artist, Miss Ichiko aoba. And the second thing is related to a also a music related website called Rate My Music. Oh, sorry, Rate Your Music. And I guess for those of you who don't know about this website, I mean, if you're not a music nerd, chances are you don't use this website at all. I'd say it is a website where, and according to their wording, by the way, one of the largest music databases and communities online, which you can use in endless ways to discover new music. And it's true to a certain extent. Through this website, you can discover new music. You can tag the stuff that you've listened to. The tag can be like anything you want, just basically like a label that you stick onto a record to remind you certain things about it, probably the genre or like a certain feeling you feel about a an album. Basically, like if I listen to an album and I feel like it's interesting, I can just tag interesting. Bam, there you go. Now you remember that. Now, I mean, sometime into the future when you revisit the album, should you like have zero like memory about this album whatsoever, you look at the tag and you'd be like, oh, yeah, some time ago I did listen to something like this and did label it interesting. And you can also publish reviews should you have the passion to do so. And one of the most key features of this website is the ability to rate music. It is good for keeping track with the stuff that you have listened to and how much you enjoyed or disliked those albums. And it's overall a fundamental feature that any website like Rate Your Music should have. As for the rating system itself, it's a very basic 5-star rating system that it's usable. I don't have a strong opinion about it, so yeah. And generally speaking, it's a very cool website that I do use very often. Is it perfect? No, because I feel like any online community has some like toxicity and some stupid quality to them that I'd rather just not talk about. But overall, it's still a very good website. And yeah, Miss Ichiko aoba, as I've introduced to you, she's a Japanese-born artist. Um, yeah, this is like the place where she's born. And whatever information you have right here. The founder of Herman. I don't know. I've never seen this word before. It's a small animal, I think. Um, and yeah, this is her page, her profile on the website Rate Your Music, yada yada yada, whatever. She's done so many, I guess, good things. And if I were to introduce Miss Ichigo to a newcomer, to a person who just started to get into Miss Ichigo's music, I'd say that as I'm concerned, and the genre of folk music is concerned, no one has been able to make me and honestly so many others feel like how Miss Ichigo has. She's just basically like she's just like effortlessly push the boundaries of what can be considered like minimalistic and what's considered just lazy work, like very sparsely arranged and like very lackluster works. And her music never struck me as something lackluster and like incompetent arrangement wise. So yeah, there's that. Honestly, Miss Ichigo aoba to me has always been a very special artist, one of a kind artist, and to to tell the truth, I don't even know how to introduce her to someone who is I don't know, who's completely new to uh, Miss Ichigo's music. I guess I guess I'll just start with some of her like more notable achievements, and that's the fact that she has collabed with. Here you go. This is a live album, like a New Year's program, I think, called the Radio. And in this album, she's worked with multiple very notable, very well respected musical figures in the Japanese music scene. Like, for example, here, Mr. Riichi Sakamoto, the late great Riichi Sakamoto of the Yellow Magic Orchestra fame. He's like, I guess, an electric music pioneer, and he's also known for his film scores and yada 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 yada. I don't. Yeah, I'm so bad with introducing artists to people. But point is, he's a well-respected figure, and if anyone knows their music at all, they know about Mr. Sakamoto. He's just one of the best to have ever lived, to have ever graced the music community, or however you want to put it. And we also have like Keigo Oyamada. I hope I have pitch accented it correctly. I'm trying to learn Japanese, okay? I'm not trying to butcher anything. So take note. I'm just trying to be as authentic and as trying to take every opportunity possible to learn, but that's beside the point. I'm sorry. Keigo Oyamada of Cornelius fame. If you guys know, I guess, what the Cornelius project is, then you guys must love your music, and especially your Japanese music. And honestly, he's more a more popular project in the, I guess, less known Japanese music scene. So I guess yeah. And then we also have like Mr. Haruomi Hosono, I think. Hopefully I pitch accented it correctly. Also of Happy and fame. Let me just take a look real quick. Okay, Happy Endo rather. And yeah, as you can see right here, the band has, there you go, the the man who's in charge of the vocals and the bass. He is one of the goats. So yeah, there's that. So yeah, Miss Ichiko has worked with so many well-respected people, and that shows, right? It shows. I mean, all that just for me to prove a point that Miss Ichiko Alba, for those of you who haven't heard a thing about this artist, which will only, you know, I will only bring these points up to prove to these people how Miss Ichigo Alba is actually a very talented person, and that you should probably get into her music if you haven't. But if you are already one of her like dedicated fans, I don't think I need to bring up these facts, or bring up these points or whatever to just to prove something. Um, so yeah, let's get to the main thing that I want to cover for this video. A few days ago, I've discovered that Miss Ichigo's 2013 studio album Zero, or I don't know if it's like Zero or Re, as like the Japanese word for zero, but I'll just call it Zero for the ease of communicating. So Zero, in my opinion, and many others too apparently, if you can look at the amount of ratings here compared to her other works, is one of Miss Ichigo's best works, alongside her 2020 release Windswept Eden. or in the Japanese title, Adang no Kaze, is a um and 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 we are not here to talk about that album, so I will miss Ichiko Alba's music. I can spend like a whole separate video dedicated to, uh, I guess, talking about her music because her music is just that good. And she's one of the few people whose catalog, of, I guess, as of this point, I consider to be pretty spotless and without a bad release. Sure, there are releases that, I guess, pale in comparison to the better ones, but overall, her catalog is super solid, super respectable, and just super enjoyable, as far as I'm concerned. And so, yeah, her, back to the main point here, her 2013 album Zero is slowly approaching the very esteemed, very honorable average rating of 4 out of 5. And as of right now, you know, as of me recording this video, it's sitting at 3.99 at 9,499 ratings. It is just, I don't know, as a longtime Ichigo Alba fan, I'm just super happy that her talent and her dedication to music is being realized by um, more and more people. I'd say that it is inevitable, the fact that this album will eventually reach the average rating of 4 out of 5. Now, with that being said, is a 4 out of 5 average rating over like almost 10K entries is as impressive as something from, like, I guess, Kendrick Lamar to Pimp a Butterfly with like just thousands upon thousands, like 40K plus ratings with a average of 4.2 plus out of 5. Not necessarily, because that album manages to stay super high, like relatively high, like one of the highest rated albums on the website, like over such a big amount of people that actually rated this album. And I feel like, of course, Ichiko Alba is of smaller fame. That is, no doubt. But I don't care if like she is actually not as well known as Kendrick. It's I don't know why I'm even like bringing up these points here. It doesn't matter. But my point here is, if you take a look at her 2020 release, it's a more popular release with 12K 7 ratings and averages out at 3.92, which is still rather impressive. And do I feel like over time this album will get to 4.0? I'd say it's possible, but it's also pretty hard, because understand that the community of Ichigo Alba fans and the people that's have heard her music and is using this website for some reason, like it's all have already like made an entry here, and this is probably as high as it gets. Sure, you can have like a few hundred more newcomers over time, but yeah, from that, all the way to 4.0, it means that you're gonna need like 0.08 plus in the rating for that to happen. And I know for sure that's going to take a lot more than a few hundred ratings, because we have to, I guess, take into account the fact that not everyone is going to enjoy this album, and not everyone is going to give this album like a 4 plus rating, and that is precisely what is required for this uh, average number to move up, because anything lower than 4 is gonna like drag the average down, and you know that's how like math works, I guess. But let's I digress. Let's not forget about the fact that her 2013 album Zero is slowly approaching 4 out of 5, and I cannot be happier as a Ichiko Aoba fan, and I feel like this is the type of recognition and honor that she truly deserves. And again, I would really like to dive into her musical style, but I feel like I would not do it justice talking about it in this video, but I guess I'd still like to talk a bit about it since this video I have never touched on her music, talked about it like in any fashion whatsoever. I guess to concisely describe her music, then I'd say it's very serene, soft, and beautiful. It is minimalistic, perhaps too minimal for you know, many or some people rather than many, but it is to me it although very like sparsely arranged, at least as far as her earlier works are concerned, although very sparse, the music is just very evoking in so many ways, and the her her style, her aesthetic, her artistic vision is unlike anyone else. And honestly, I will die on this hill defending Miss Ichiko Alba's music because I truly believe that there's not that many artists out there who have put together such a well respected catalog, at least in my eyes. She's never put out like a bad albums, and this is like one of the an artist, name an artist that's never dropped a bad album moment for me at the very least. Ichiko Alba should be one of these people in my opinion. But yeah, you as you can see here, these are my ratings. I'm trying to zoom it in a little. And as you can see, I've rated the first album, her debut, a 9 out of 10. Her second one, 4 out of 9 out of 10, 4.5 out of 5. I'll just use the 10-point rating when I talk about these albums. So, yeah, this is an 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10. And of course, I do feel like her 2013 album is a perfect album. And I don't believe that if you know me, or at least I don't know if I've said anything like that in my previous videos. Probably not. I've not made that many videos, to be fair. But there's no true perfection in this world. But there is something about the music that aligns with so many things, so many qualities that you, as a listener, set out to look for. Miss Ichigo has got it all done in this single record. And for that, I just have to give this album a perfect rating. And mind you, there are moments uh, on this record that I feel like could have been better, but I can pretty much say that to about pretty much every other album in existence. Because again, nothing is perfect. Only relativity is absolute. So when someone says, "Oh, this album is my absolute favorite. That album is my absolute favorite," it cringes me a little because honestly, I don't think that kind of stuff is real. But yeah, if personally you would like to use the term absolute favorite to describe or to talk about your personal experience, and I guess I'm okay with that. I don't gatekeep the way people try to like conceptualize and express their ideas, but I do want people to uh, remember that there's no such thing as perfection, which I feel like quite a few people out there fail to recognize that. But again, that's just me ranting. It doesn't have anything to do with this video. But yeah, to me, like I know that this video is probably of little value to anyone, but if you're like me and if you see, you know, this event like this 4 out of 5 slowly approaching. It's like it's right there, over the horizon. Like it's so close and it's coming and it's like it's inevitable. Then yeah, we bros, we are the Ichiko bros, and yeah, that's all I want to talk about in this video. This album is approaching a 4.0 average rating over like 10K, which is not the biggest amount of entries, but also isn't small either. It's considerable because I consider anything like 1K plus is already like a somewhat known project, let alone something like 10 times the amount. And also, I this video is for me to tell you guys that I do consider Zero is Ichiko Alba's best work as of this moment, and she will probably put out like even better works into the future. But we will have to wait and see. But as of right now, I do feel that if you guys really want to know about my top three, then it would be this one, number one, and then her 2020 release, Windswept Aden, or Adan no Kaze, whatever. The At the second place and her third one, I'd probably have to go with her debut, Kamisori Otome, which means Razor Maiden. Sounds like a very cheap rip-off metal name to Iron Maiden, but yeah, I don't want to disrespect Miss Ichigo right here, but yeah, those are my top three Ichigo albums. And I would like to just make a whole nother video just dedicated to talking about Miss Ichiko Aba's music and how much I love it and how much it's helped me in life, just recovering from like all the pains and trauma and stuff like that. Yeah, I know if you have listened or are listening to Miss Ichiko Aba's music till this day, then you've been through some rough shit, some really like rough stuff that probably you have experienced in life, and for that, we are all here. We are all glued together by the magic of Miss Ichigo's music. But yeah, that's probably it. I just want to talk a little bit about some stupid ass uh, music website and a wonderful, wonderful music artist. And that would be all. It's datboi, and I will see you guys in the next video. Hopefully, I love you guys for staying through all the way till the end. And if you guys love video game related, music related, anime related content, and just whatever explored upon in a very nerdy fashion, then consider subscribing to your boy. It make him super happy, super ecstatic. And yeah, I'm logging out. That boy out. Ciao.